Every new RVer is told that you always put your awning down overnight or anytime it's unattended in case of bad weather. Of course, geniuses like Mr. Gyro here know better than all those experts with their decades of experience. So when the weather looked all nice and sunny, there didn't seem to be any reason to run the awning all the way up and down and waste those precious 9 seconds before leaving to go on a hike. I'm not that stupid, really. I'm just a little senile now that I've reached the age of, well, let's go with 25. Yeah. And let's be honest, we're all a little senile at times. At least, that's what I tell myself. Makes me feel better. The weather was gorgeous and I went for a hike, and because I have a personal storm cloud over my head, the skies opened up and dumped while I was away from the camper. Here's what I returned to. I'm estimating that it was as much as several hundred gallons, since the water was at least 18 inches deep in the pool, and this is a long awning. The trailer was noticeably leaning towards the awning, and it's a miracle it hadn't torn off yet. Since I couldn't crawl through the door or release the awning supports, which were now jammed, I carefully poked a hole with the jackknife and drained the awning. Now, besides installing a new brain, how could I have prevented this? Pawing through my toolbox, I found just what I needed. Tarp repair grommets. I carry about 9 tons of spare tools with me, after all, so I qualify as my own hardware store. Excessive tools have saved me and fellow campers many times. Darn it, I told you I'm not crazy. Stop looking at your screen that way. So, to save a $1,000 plus awning from senile owners, all the manufacturer really had to do was install a 50-cent grommet as a drain hole. So, here we go. For anyone who hasn't set a grommet before, I'll demonstrate how that works. It's very simple. I'll demonstrate on a piece of paper so you can see both sides of what's happening. First, take the backer and place it under the tarp that you're going to put the grommet on. And then take the hole punch that's included with the kit and hammer that down. If it's hard to hammer, you can also just slowly turn the cutter against the tarp to make a hole, or use a razor or a scissor to cut the hole as long as you make it the correct size. Once you have your hole, place the anvil that goes on the bottom underneath your hole, followed by the bottom of the grommet, and place the neck up through the hole. Then place the top of the grommet on top of that, and the driver into the hole, like so. Now you hammer down on the top of this, and it will slowly curl the top neck of the grommet around, making a nice smooth seam and following down until this is very tight against the tarp. And here's that grommet installed in the awning seen from below. It's very sexy and grommety. Alright, I've been on the road too long. But it's a nice smooth ferrule, not ugly at all. If you like brass ferrules, I guess. Here it is from above. Note that the rolled over grommet collar is not sharp and won't damage the awning when rolled inside. Is one grommet really enough? In the rains I've seen and intentionally left the awning out well supervised to check, this grommet has kept up adequately. I recommended this modification to others and they've installed up to 3 in thirds across the long awnings. Only the middle one would drain until water backs up enough to reach the outer ones, so it's really not a bad extra safety for only $1 or $2 extra. Failure is dear after all. Oh, and if you're wondering how to straighten out the aluminum roller, it's easier than your dealer wants you to think. Get 2 ladders of similar height, place them under each end of the roller, and then rotate and lock the roller with the bow upward. Now hang your teenager, or climb a 3rd ladder and gently press down yourself on the middle of the bow, slowly going slightly past midpoint and then relaxing pressure until the roller's pretty straight. What do you mean you don't carry 3 ladders? Go get friendly with your neighbors. Maybe the crazy guy with the grommet in his awning next door. Until next time, I'm GyroGearloose, and a little crazy.